just seeing how you been, where you been at. So, since your last video, how has life been?
It's been cool. Um, a lot of ups and downs. Um, it's been life. It's been one of those things where, you just have, it's just life. You can't even really explain it for real, for real. I've had good days, I've had bad days. I lost a lot, I gained a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but what's new since we last talked to you?
Everything's been new, honestly. My daughter, she's here. The apple on my eye. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you see a lot of her whenever I have her with me. My children, they healthy. My other two sons, they getting older. New experiences with them. Learning a lot of different stuff when it comes to them too. Just trying to guide them into manhood. Besides that, I pretty much had to put everything else back in the order. I'm focusing on restarting my businesses, tattoos, YouTube, stuff like that. So, yeah, that's what's been going on for the most part.
Okay, are you trying to improve in life, or do you feel you always want more? So are you improving, or do you want more?
I would say that's kind of the same thing. I would say that the more that you improve, the more that you want, the more you have to improve.
So you want more in life so you can improve?
I want to improve so I can get more in life.
Okay.
So it's basically that. Like, I just been focused on how to get better, focusing on how to use my talents a lot more, focusing on how to be a better father, focusing on how to be a better man, things that I need to change up, things that I need to keep the same.
So go in depth in that. What are you trying to change up? What are you trying to keep the same? And
I would say,
let's look at business aspect.
if we talking about business, just being more consistent. Like I said, last year and years prior, a lot was going on. The passing of my grandmother was probably the biggest thing that kind of took a toll. So that was kind of like the nail in the coffin that made me realize that I need to just step it up a little bit more. I need to make her proud. I need to make my children proud. I need to leave behind a legacy. And I just want more for myself at the end of the day. Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah. I think my children make me happy. The money is cool. I'm gonna always know how to get that. I'm gonna always know how to move and maneuver, but I think being around my children is what makes me the happiest. So, if my sons aren't here, then I try to get my daughter. If I can't get my daughter, I try to make sure I have one of them around. Right now, my daughter, she kind of like puts a smile on my face every single time I see her. So I think I'm cool for the most part.
Okay.
I'm alright.
So, when you're talking about your family, do you want more kids? How many kids do you want to have?
Like total?
Yeah. Are you big family, little family?
I don't really know. I can't really. I can't gauge how many kids I want. Because even with my daughter, it was a situation where it was something that kind of just happened. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those situations to where it was written. I think the circumstances should have been a little bit different, but she came here, so I look at it like the age that I'm at right now. If I give me some M's, I think I have like maybe 2-3 more. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go. Let's change it. So, how much is broke to you? Being broke. So how much would you consider being like? What is broke?
Like
$5 in the pocket, 1K, anything less than 1K.
anything less than 10.
Okay, well let's do
Um, if we talking about like monetary, I would say anything less than 10. I wouldn't say broke, but like you're close enough to where
10.
if something really happened and you needed like some money for real,
Mm-hmm.
you probably had to pay your rent for a couple months or take care of your bills. I probably would say anything less than like 10. But broke is really just a mindset. It's not really money
Okay.
because you can, if you're smart enough, you can put yourself in a position where if you're smart, you know how to hustle, you can get you some money. So money is just a tool. It's just energy. That's all.
Okay, so the next question was if you had to spend the cash in your pocket or use your debit or use a card, what would you use? The cash or the debit card?
I wouldn't use my debit card, and I like the way like money looks, so I try not to use cash.
So you're like, oh, so how you gonna pay for stuff? How you
Okay.
not gonna use cash?
So let me
how you
let me
pay
let me
it?
get y'all a secret. Stop using your debit card. If you have a credit card, take the money that's on your debit card and put it on your credit card because it'll build your credit. Because your debit card you're using like a credit card anyway. So you might as well take that money, put it on your credit card, and allow your credit to revolve because you're already using the money. So, I mean, that's just the way my mind thinks now based off of the information that I got. So, technically, I would use a credit card.
Okay, so you rather use credit card than cash in your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
These are some interesting questions already. Okay.
see.
All right.
Are you introverted or extroverted?
I'm a little bit of both. And I see that in my children a lot. My oldest son is very introverted. My youngest son is very extroverted. My daughter is probably going to be a diva. But me personally, it depends on the setting.
Okay.
So if I have to, move in a group of people, I know how to activate that. But I like my peace. I like solitude a lot. So I like to be by myself for the most part. So, I mean, I'm a little bit of both, depending on the circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, would you say you've been through a whole phase?
Yeah.
You currently still through that whole phase, or how is that?
Nah, it gets old. It gets to a point where you see the same people in different bodies. It's cool as far as it, being fun and, by the grace of God, I've been able to encounter like beautiful women. So, I've had my moments where, I've participated in it, but it doesn't bring you any real satisfaction. It's still a void that's there. So, you get to a point to where it's like, okay, she's beautiful, but we can't hold an actual conversation. She doesn't know how to cook. She's not clean, or she could be all of those things, but the energy may be off. She may have gone through some type of hurt to where she feels like a person is supposed to act a certain way and facilitate her in a certain way. Mm-hmm. So you just meet the same people in different bodies, and then when you do meet new people, you have to gauge them as well, and it just takes too much energy, too much time. I know that I'm past that stage because I know I want somebody with substance. I want to be able to come home to somebody to where I don't really have to think twice. It's my best friend, my lover, it's my business partner. We make money together, we travel, and we just live out the rest of our life, you know what I'm saying? If she has children, I'll treat them like they're my own, and I would expect her to do the same thing. So I'm not really in my whole phase no more. I'm just in a space where I won't compromise my standards, my morals, my principles. Certain things that I want and that I need out of a female, if I don't get that, then I'm cool. I'm gonna just chill out.
So what are these standards? What are these morals and standards?
I need peace. I need understanding. I need substance. She doesn't have to completely be into the same things that I'm into. I don't have to be in the same things that she's into. I'm not looking for the perfect person. I need somebody that's willing to learn because I'm willing to learn. I need somebody that understands that, you know, if I need to go in my man cave and I need my space, she'll understand it the same way that she may need her space. I need somebody that's, you know, definitely intelligent, that can definitely hold a conversation. And physically, you know, I just need somebody that's appealing. Like, she doesn't have to be a fucking 10. She doesn't have to be an Instagram model or nothing like that. Like, it's not that deep. I've dealt with females that have had 10, 50. I've dealt in that world to where, like, when you meet the person, it's just kind of like it's very shallow. It becomes more about what a person can do for you. I don't want to say monetarily, but it's more about what can you facilitate until they have a conversation with me. And then it's like, damn, you know, he's really a lot more, but by that time I'm turned off. So, yeah, that's what I look for, man.
Alright. Okay, so then, alright, let's go. Are you more religious or spiritual?
I know that I'm more spiritual. I've had talks with God personally. I've been in a situation to where no religion could have brought me out of that. There's no practices that could have brought me out of that. There was a time frames where I actually talked to God, and God facilitated a lot of different things. I spent a lot of time isolated last year, and that was a time frame when I talked to God probably the most. Outside of me being locked up, that was probably the most I talked to God on a consistent basis. And, you know, God put things in order, orchestrated certain things, you know, so I get up and get on my knees, I pray every day. I don't really go to church. I don't practice a particular religion, but I pull something from all of them, you know, whether it's Buddhist, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Hinduism, any of that. You know what I mean? Like, I pull something from everything because it all has the same message, and it kind of directs you to one thing, you know. So I would say I'm more spiritual than anything else.
Okay, so have you fasted? Have you ever done a fast?
Yeah, but I think I do it subconsciously. Like, I'll find myself getting up and I probably won't eat until sunset.
So you will, okay, so then you will fast food. Fasting.
Yeah, I'll fast food, I'll fast social media, I'll fast, I even fast money sometimes. As far as me just having this hunger for it, I'll just kind of chill out. My body will let me know, like, I need to just relax. And in those circumstances, like, things have happened that I probably would have found myself in a bad space to where, you know, I just had to realize, you know, I had to chill on certain things. Too much of anything can be bad for you.
Right.
Basically.
So, when you fast something, what is it that you're trying? Because, you know, when people fast, they try to gain clarity on something. Is that what you try to do, or when, like?
No, it's more about discipline.
Okay.
Even with I kind of practice this thing called like semen retention, so where you don't release, so you don't have sex, you can have sex, but you just don't release. I do that from time to time as well. So I have my moments where, like, I be wanting to get it in, like, all the time, and then there be moments to where I be like, all right, now let me just chill out and just hold myself in.
So have you done it where you have you had sex where, or you fucking, where you don't come because you hold it within you?
Yeah, I've done it before.
So you hold your cum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a form of discipline. Like, you wanna release, but you have enough discipline to where it's like, and then I'm the type of person to where, like, I'm a pleaser. So if she get hers, then I ain't really tripping about if I get mine or not. So I can pull away. I get satisfaction off of making a woman feel good.
Okay.
So it's easier for me to, like, practice semen retention.
This is so interesting. Okay.
That's a real thing. People gonna think I'm like on some Kevin Gates type shit, and nah, that shit been around since before. Like that nigga just made it mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's a good thing for you.
Okay. All right. What's one interesting thing about you that we don't know by just looking at you?
I like damn, it's a lot. I like
All right. So give us your top three.
top three. I like slow music. What I mean by that is like I like reverbed, slow down music. If you get to know me and you know who I am as a person, like I'm silly, you know what I mean? Especially around my children, like I'll, play games with them and stuff like that. Like I'm really vulnerable around my kids. And I'm not as much of an asshole as people think. My demeanor comes off a certain way because you're not going to play with me. I'm not going to allow you to play with me, but if I fuck with you enough, like you'll see a different side of me, so. That's probably the three that I can think of off the top of my head. So, yeah.
Okay, so Nate, run it back. What's the three? Put it bullet points. You give explanations, but one of the.
So, I like slow music. I like if I find a song that I like, I'm gonna immediately look for it's called slow or reverb. I immediately try to find that version of it. My demeanor, how I come across, you're not gonna play with me, but at the same time, if you get to know me, I'll show you a side of me to where I'm a little bit more vulnerable if I actually fuck with you. And with my children, I'm usually more like prankster, goofy, play around. That's kind of the only thing that really makes me vulnerable without any real effort. So those are the three things.
So your kids make you vulnerable?
Yeah, they make me vulnerable. I mean, we may be 5 minutes into this, and I've talked about my kids like more than anything. So yeah.
It's okay.
Y'all will see them a lot on this channel. Y'all will see.
Y'all have, okay, so what? Let's see. Have you played mind games with a female?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I try not to be in that space. Because I think I understand the psychology of it, but I try not to be in that space. It's usually when I feel like I'm either being played with or I'm being used. That's what'll trigger it. It'll be like, if I see a situation and it's like, oh, okay, you on that type of time, all right, let's go ahead and play around for a while. But I definitely try not to be like that because it's pointless. I'm using energy that I don't need to use on some bullshit. Like, I need somebody to come into my life to where we're gonna facilitate each other. Why should I have to play mind games with you about anything? I try to be as authentic as possible, but you run across those individuals that, they try to get over in some way, shape, or form. I don't like my intelligence being insulted, and that's usually when that happens, when I feel like I'm being played with. So now it's like, okay, I'm either gonna cut you off or I'm gonna get my lick back, and then I'm gonna just leave you alone regardless.
So do you feel like you always gotta get your lick back?
Yeah.
So you can't leave nothing as peace? You can't just be like, you know what?
I hold grudges. I hold grudges.
Oh.
I'm one of those people. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm one of those people where it's like a word. All right, regardless of how long it may take, and it may be.
Damn.
I know it may be in the
10
sense.
years later, you got your car. Like, I got my lick back.
Yeah, but it may be in a way to where like it may not be in the same way that somebody has done it to me. I may I'll do something to where you know that it was done in that aspect. It won't have to be put on social media. Like you would have to like deal with that internally.
You mind fuck people.
I used to when I was younger.
You still do. You still do. I can see it in your eyes. Don't let it fool you. Alright. Would you have a threesome again?
Yeah. I would have a threesome again. I've had threesomes before. It's unwritten rules to it. You gotta actually participate and follow the rules. A lot of guys don't do that. They want to do it and then try to fuck the friend and get the phone number. And when you see them in the same vicinity, the first thing that comes to your mind is, are we gonna do X, Y, Z? Like, it's not that deep. It's unwritten rules to it. You gotta make sure that you play by the rules, because these women are allowing you to experience this situation without any pushback. So you gotta respect that. You have to look at the situation like, damn, like, there's two women that are willing to give themselves to me. Let me respect the situation as much as possible, because it's not a common thing. It's not a lot of women aren't walking around saying they just want to have a threesome.
So if you do a threesome, do you pick or do you let the other individual pick, the female pick?
I've been in situations where I pick, but I've learned that it's always better when the female picks, because you're supposed to put yourself in a situation to where you got to understand that if a woman is even considering that, that she's in a mindset to when she really likes you in some way, shape, or form. From what I've learned, because most women are usually selfish with me. They don't want nobody else to have, the dick. So if it's a situation where it happens, I have to understand enough to where she's allowing this situation to happen, and then the female that's gonna participate, she's opening herself up too. So I'm gonna let you deal with all of that. I don't want to have a phone number. I don't want to have social media. May be cool, but I'm not gonna be in her inbox. It's at the end of the day, the person that you're dealing with and the person that you may have had that experience with, the third party, they respect you more. So they may be more willing to do it again.
So is threesome a fantasy of yours?
I've already had that. Making $100 million is my fantasy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So money is your fantasy.
Yeah.
So you can fuck money too.
Now I'd probably take like $10 million and like spread it all over the room and fuck on it. But money is just a tool, you know what I'm saying? I can facilitate a lot of different things. Like I can make sure my mom is completely straight. My brother and my sister are good. Individuals that I may have a bond or a connection with, I may be able to look at their problems and, pretty much take care of those. The mothers of my children, like, they'll be taken care of regardless of the situations that we may be back and forth about at times. Like, they'll be very well taken care of. I look at money as a tool to where you can create heaven on earth with enough money. And that's how I look at it. So.
What would be your advice to give the younger generation? What advice would you give to the younger generation?
Like male or female? Well,
both. Like,
both.
You
Well,
need to give...
shit. Okay. Follow your heart. Definitely follow your heart. Don't follow the rules that society tries to make up for you. Definitely focus on your money. Keep your credit straight to the best of your ability. Don't have children too early. Make sure that you pick the correct spouse. Make sure the person that you decide to be in a relationship with or get married to or whatever the case may be, that's the person that's for you. Make sure that they fit all of the standards that you have. and make sure that you live life. Be cautious of what's going on, but also experience life the way that you're supposed to. If it's parties, if it's, you smoking weed, if it's you going skydiving, you taking trips, make sure that you experience everything that you possibly can in a positive way before you leave here. I mean, because ultimately, like, nobody makes it out alive. So that would be my advice.
Okay, hold on, let me see. What advice would you give a female if she's the one that's trying to approach the guy first?
I run across this type of situation a lot, to be honest with you.
Cause you get all the hoes. Oh, okay.
Nah. I've just been in situations to where I was just supposed to kind of like know that a person might have been attracted to me, or might be feeling me, and it's like when you don't have a clue of what's going on, it's kind of hard to gauge. Listen to this song called Bad Habits. Type it in YouTube, just type in Bad Habits. Basically, the guy says, I wish I knew you wanted me. And
Who sings? You said Bad Habits, but who's the artist?
just type in Bad Habits.
Oh.
Type in Bad Habits, it'll pop up.
Oh, okay.
Basically, he said, I wish I knew you wanted me.
Okay.
So he's saying, like, if I would have known you wanted me, I would have tried to see what was up. But because I didn't know you wanted me, I just kind of cooled out and I bit my tongue and I just fell back. So for females, like, she might like a bunch. Females set up the situation for men to shoot their shot.
Right.
But because of how things are, men don't really know how to gauge when to really shoot their shot. Unless you have enough experience, and it's kind of like, okay.
You know that this female is
she trying to tell you she like you without telling you that she like you.
So should females be more bluntly like, you know what, I like you, I want you, and
I don't think females should do it in that way.
okay, so then what advice would you, how do the females run game on the guy? Like, what advice would you give a female to be like, you know what?
I would say just show interest, like be consistent with your interest. Like, don't like 17 pictures on Instagram and then it's like, it's supposed to be a sign. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't, come around and wear certain clothes and it's like, oh, okay. Don't put us in position to where we have to always shoot our shot, because sometimes we don't know. We can't read into it sometimes if you don't have enough experience. But I think there would be a lot more relationships, a lot more happier relationships as women shot their shot. I think women would find the men that they want if they just shot their shot and they were consistent about what was going on. If they just, hey, I like you, I think you're attractive. Basically do the same thing that you would want men to do. Set up a nice...
nowadays females just think that. Now, well, not even females. Now men over here, now it's just like they want to hold themselves as high standards. It's like, no, you got to come to me and want to talk to me. Do you think men now are being more sensitive or understanding of women's way tactics of what they want?
Men have gotten to a point to where they understand how it works now.